What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk about Lucid, ticker is LCID. There's a lot of things I do want to talk about. Today is a very much red day once again. I'm going to talk on institutions, what institutions are actually doing with Lucid right now, and also I want to talk about some manipulation that is happening among the intraday chart. But before I get into any of that, all I ask, smash the thumbs up, subscribe to all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, I do daily videos on trending stocks, crypto. I do it all, so make sure you do subscribe. Also, pop over to my Discord, link in the description below. It's a free chat, a lot of good people. And with that said, let's get right to it. So looking at the live ticker to my left, it is currently down 3.74%, 15.9 million as far as overall volume. 51 is the 6-month average, and 644,000 shares being purchased by institutions just today alone. But even in that regard, 644,000 is rather low from what we're used to. So definitely shows something is in the air. I'm going to talk about what institutions are actually doing with Lucid. But first, I just want to show you this crazy intraday chart. So look at this. Nothing but selling going on. Then we did bounce off of the S1 pretty successfully in my opinion. When it comes down to it, a lot of people talk about manipulation too freely because I just want to show you this. So short interest right now, 20.01% is the short interest, pretty stagnant from 1 week prior. Utilization is 100%, and day by day change as of right now, it's actually down 0.86%, which works out to be 2.13 million shares being returned. And you can see cost to borrow is going down. So 6.47% is the average, and that is rather low. But keep in mind, we are actually down. So hypothetically, when we are down, that means shorts are actually buying shares, causing buying pressure to go up. When I was watching this first thing in the morning, we were actually up roughly about 4%. Huge day. So when it comes down to it though, that goes to show there is so much manipulation when it comes down to Lucid. So looking here, like I said on the intraday chart, when short interest was up roughly about 4%, that means shorts were selling shares, adding selling pressure, which is why we went down as much as we are. Now, as soon as they cover, that is when we bounce. Keep in mind as well, I just want to go back to this. Looking here, 7.49 million returned shares, in total 5.36 million shares being shorted. So keep in mind though, our volume is only 15.9 million. Imagine what shorts can actually do. And this hands down is why I always bring up the volume, because lower volume does usually mean manipulation is fairly easy to do. And right now, especially with short interest as high as it is, shorts are manipulating Lucid to its own discretion, making a lot of money based on just quick movements. But when it comes down to it though, institutions typically have added always a lot of liquidity, adding a lot of buying pressure. But as of recently, institutions haven't necessarily been buying as much as they normally have been. And that is, in my opinion, a little bit more of a cause for concern. But they are doing one thing that is very obvious. I just want to bring your attention to options activity. So options activity, $1.68 million worth of options being done today, and 0% of them being positive. So clearly big money is hypothetically buying puts. Yesterday, $13.24 million worth of options being done. A lot. That is big money. And only 44% positive. So clearly the consensus is that there was a lot of puts being purchased as well. And overall, all last week, $45.72 million worth of options being done, with only 37% of options being positive. So again, goes back to the point. Big money and institutions are buying puts against Lucid, anticipating that there is a downward pressure. I'm going to do a little bit more technical analysis at the end just to kind of break that down for you as well. But regardless of that, there is still a lot of positive things coming out about Lucid. One of which is this. Lucid technically has the highest credit rating equivalent among all the US car makers. I really like that. Definitely shows that there is a lot of good health among Lucid and their finances, their balance sheet, and I really do like that, especially going forward as well. That goes to show and gives us a little bit more credibility. Although the stock price is as volatile as they come, it comes down to the day-to-day business is very healthy. So that's one thing I really do like. And looking back at Bank of America, so Bank of America has always theoretically really liked Lucid. So has Bank of America Securities picked a winner among 9 automaker stocks? I just want to go over right here so you can see hypothetically they do talk on pretty much all EVs, but they do talk on our favorite Lucid right here. Lucid Group is one of the 2 EV stocks that has received a buy rating from Bank of America, has a price objective of $50 and was unchanged, and represents an upside potential of about 127% based on its recent price of $22.06. So at the end of the day, Bank of America still does really like Lucid and finds it as one of the top EV stocks. I really like that, and when it comes down to institutions, it's a little bit more inconsistent, but at the end of the day, institutions typically play short-term movements with options. So this is why on the short term they are anticipating a downward trend, but this is why still a lot of analysts give a lot of high price targets and ratings, because long term, this is something I bring up all the time. When you buy Lucid, you should be thinking long term, not necessarily short term, because a lot of spec plays and innovative companies such as Lucid are going to be extremely volatile. So that's something as well just to keep in mind, especially if you are buying. You need to be very comfortable with very heavy swings, but keep in mind though, I am not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But with that, just want to cap it off with some technical analysis. Right now, the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So first off, just looking at the chart, there is a lot of indicators that are all signaling that we are oversold big time. So looking at stochastic, we are at 26. Anything hypothetically around the 25 range shows that we are oversold. And right now, there is still that deviation. So red line above the black showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. Number of buyers, you can tell through the momentum indicator, is just down. Nobody is buying Lucid right now, and that's very unfortunate, because days like this, when there is very much red and blood in the market, those are the best days to buy. But also looking at RSI, that is currently at 39, and looking on the actual chart right now, still lower percent of the Bollinger Band, huge candle going on right here, and that is definitely some cause for concern. But whether that actually will hold, because we did have that exact same situation right here and we bounced up, and I did successfully call the bottom on this exact day. And I love that about YouTube. You definitely go back and take a look and pop in. You can definitely see that I did call the bottom on that exact day. But unfortunately today you are not going to get one of those videos, because on that day there was a lot of bullish signals all happening, one of which even was the technicals. But when it comes down to today more specifically, we're not seeing those same bullish signals. So that's something as well for us to keep in mind. So potentially a little bit more downside, and looking more so on the Fibonacci. So 2175 is a very pivotal point for us to watch for. We did hypothetically break below that, but again, we need to close below that. Right now we are 2221 between the S1 and the pivots. So most likely we will actually be range bound between there until we have a good catalyst to either break us out or either continuation of fear to bring us down. So that is something as well for us to keep in mind. But like I said, there is a lot of manipulation, and that does come with lower volume. And with that, just want to show you this. So there is interactive brokers. I like using them. Gives you good representation on a lot of good information. I do have a link to them in the description below, and also I'll put that in the comments. So make sure you click the link, pop around. There is a lot of good information, and one of which I always like to look at the sentiment. Overall, what people are thinking about the underlying stock. I'm a big believer in investor confidence, and right now the tweet sentiment score is actually negative, and the tweet volume score is positive. So clearly a lot more people are talking about Lucid, but the big influential people are not. So that is as well something for you to take away. Take that how you see that. But with all that, let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't already, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. Again, if you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With all that said though, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.